realising together the potential of these athletes is kind of what it's all for, really. And seeing him on the main stage, like I said earlier, in front of this massive crowd is exactly what this sport needs. And I'm really happy that the athletes get to kind of show off in front of this audience.
When I was here in 2012, the power-up was the number one thing I remembered when I went home that day. It was amazing. Here we go then. Third climber on the wall. Kobayashi.
So in the qualifying rounds, Kiochiro was specifically cheered on by the crowd because he was on the last move, or the last couple of moves, for an eternity, and he was locking off, trying to find the hold, trying to reach up, and he was in this specific position for about 3 minutes until he finally topped out. It was a really impressive demonstration of his endurance. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And I actually haven't seen Kiochiro climb before in the World Cups or the Masters, so it's been really interesting watching him climb. You can see that he's quite front on, and he's really, really flexible, so he'll get his feet really high, and he's just feeling his feet onto the hold there. And here comes the lock. He's a strong guy. Yes. Yeah, Kiochiro looks slightly more comfortable actually, having little shakeouts throughout. But again, yeah, his ability just to hold that deep lock like we're seeing there, full lock, using purely his orientation to know where his feet are going, so he's feeling his foot onto a volume there, and he's got to really weight it. Again, you can see the sight guide using a bottle to amplify his voice. Now these guys, I know in the qualifying rounds, had an issue with their communication system. It looks like it hasn't changed, but it seems to be working, so good on them. Yeah, you can see, yeah, he's just hit the 45-degree wall. So when we look back at Francisco, in about 4 moves' time, he started to climb much faster. He's trying to find that heel hook, and here he goes. He's going to use that as a lever to crank it in. I'm not sure if you can hear the sight guide, but he's shouting at the top of his voice, and the rest of the crowd are completely deadly silent. So a bit of a shakeout. The first good rest of the 45-degree board. Another high heel. You'll see Kiochiro use a lot of heels. Again, referring to what I said earlier, he's really flexible, and it's definitely paying off on this route as well.
Relevant in visually impaired climbing?
I think it can't help being super flexible.
Because you might have to do moves, it might not necessarily be the most efficient way, just because your vision of what is going on in the route and the moves around you is impaired. Do you often find that you have to develop different skills, different flexibility to make up for that?
I think well, having worked with the GB team for only this season, I'm definitely looking forward to kind of helping them improve with their flexibility, and looking at the other athletes, it's super important. Kiochiro, one of the strongest athletes, as we said, he topped his qualifying routes. Again, another heel hook, really getting his hips close to the wall, and having another quick shake. He's looking really good actually. This is where Francisco did speed up, so hopefully we'll see Kiochiro get into these better holds and increase his pace. So although the sight guide's obviously trying to direct him, so for example now he'll say come into the volume next to your right hand, you'll feel a good kind of rounded jug, and you can change your heel to a toe and then big lock off to this next jug. It's obviously harder for the athletes to find those specific holds. So another good shakeout. So and there he is, going straight to the lock. He's got such a good lock, but he doesn't need to use that. There it is. Wouldn't be surprised if he used another heel hook here.
So for those of you who are just tuning in, if the arena sounds extremely quiet for what we told you was a sellout evening, it's because we're watching the visually impaired B1 category. And so that the climbers can hear their sight guides, the arena drops into silence. And I have to say, it is frankly eerie, but it's such an amazing moment when the crowd does erupt again when the climber falls off. But yeah, that is why there's zero background noise. Luckily, we are far enough away from the action that we're not disturbing anyone.
With the lights down low, it's as if they're not there, really, the crowd. But here he goes. Come on, Kiochiro. He's approaching the head wall now. So he's got a good pinch there. He's feeling around for that toe. Really big drop knee as he comes into that first good hold. He'll probably want to use that as a shaking point. Locking the arm in.
And I wonder if, again, as we had earlier with Nicola, I wonder if there's an issue with the radio system, because it doesn't seem to be using a radio at all.
Well, I was saying that actually, Charlie, earlier. If you look at the sight guide.
Sorry, Mike. Sorry, Robin.
That's fine. If you have a look at him, he's actually shouting through a bottle, which they've cut off, to help amplify. But he's looking really good, isn't he? Come on, Kiochiro. Big lock. He's got to use those legs.
Come on, Kiochiro.
There he is, front on again. He's really flexible in the hips. Come on.
This will be the first top of the men's route in B1, if Kiochiro can get it.
Come on, Kiochiro. Come on. He's got to use that undercut. Come on, Kiochiro. Is he going to lock it off? Oh, come on, Kiochiro. That's it. I wonder if he can flip this left-hander, or is he just going to use it as a pinch?
This is agonizingly close from Kiochiro Kobayashi. The crowd almost began to erupt into applause, and they got shushed by the venue MC because Kiochiro's still climbing.
Ah! What a
there they
quality
are.
Performance. .98 points. Slapping the top hole, but not quite finding that hold in the volcano as the top out. But what a good performance. It'll be interesting to see how Matteo does.
Yeah, so as you saw there, the Japanese sight guide talking through a cut-off bottle. We're going for the low-tech option. My apologies, I missed